Yeah, well, welcome to our meeting about the Market Hive, and give you a little brief history, some anecdotes, and some things that lead up to the incredible system that we've built, and we're getting ready to launch, and we want you to be a part of it.
it, Mike and I came to the realization a little over 2 years ago that what we really needed to do was to just put Veritech to sleep, set her off, cut the lines and let her drift out into the ocean, and whatever would happen to her would happen to her. We wound up, selling Veritech for all intents and purposes. I mean, we still have some control over it. It's become a thing called Wave Rider. It's kind of a vertical system now with old technology in it. So she still has some life in her. One of the advantages of that, and I'll talk about it later, is it still has that massive database, and most of that massive database is still qualified, it's verified, and a lot of those people know who I am. We'll mention that later on in the show. I'm just laying some foundation. So about 2 years ago, Mike and I, we prayed over it, meditated on it, and came up with this concept of creating all sort of where we wanted to try to go with Veritech, but from scratch. And we built Market Hive from scratch, from the ground up. During all that time, I mean, a lot of the psychology of these systems, I really started to understand and how it works. So we decided to build the new Market Hive, and I'll give you guys a view of it through the screencasting here, so you know what I'm talking about. It's built to look and feel and be familiar like Facebook, and there's a reason for that, because it gives you an ease of navigation, which then doesn't mean you have to relearn the whole thing. How many people here use Facebook and use LinkedIn and have for the last 5 or 10 years? You go over to Facebook, and Facebook is so intuitive, you kind of really know there may be a lot of things in there you don't know, but you feel comfortable in Facebook, or at least I do. I go over to LinkedIn, I don't get it. I don't see how things are connected. It's not intuitive to me. Maybe it is to some people, it isn't to me. And I don't understand the real purpose for LinkedIn other than to put up your resume, get people that you don't really know endorsing you, and and connecting with other people that you might know by finding them, and being able to post articles on it, and that's about it. It gets a good search engine ranking, sort of. So with that knowledge, and then I actually watched LinkedIn go from being extremely cryptic and difficult to navigate in. They had a big update. They changed the way they looked, and it became a lot more like Facebook. Now, this is a lesson we learned in Veritech. Because Veritech became what it was long before anybody else was even building navigatable interfaces. So we had to build a navigatable interface in Veritech, and we let our egos get the best of us. We got really creative. Do a lot of graphics and buttons and mouse overs and all this kind of stuff. But for the most part, if you stripped all of that out of the Veritech that we wound up with, it was very much a navigational system that was very similar, but it didn't look and feel. So a lot of people said, this is really difficult. And I knew exactly what they're talking about. It was unfamiliar with what it does. So we learned. So we built Market Hive with that in mind, to make it very easy to navigate and very familiar. It operates, or it navigates with a familiarity of Facebook, so it's very easy. But one of the things that we did in building it from scratch, the navigating intuitiveness of our system, and being that we started it from scratch, the way it's built with all the content in the system is one XML file. What this means is when we reach a certain point, and we're really close to that certain point, we can flip the whole thing to be in every language you want it to be. It can be in 25 languages. That's going to happen this year. It's going to be in Russian, it's going to be in Spanish and German, it's going to be in Arabic and Chinese, and it's going to be in Danish, the Denmark. What's the language in Denmark? What's the prime? Tomanian. I don't know what that is, but it's going to be in Tagalog. and Dutch. It's going to be in Dutch, Romania, any language. See, all it's going to cost about $2,500 to send that file off to a firm that does the, yes, Portuguese, that does the interpretation, and they send it back to us, and we just put it in place, and we hook up an IP reader. You land on our, on Market Hive from Germany. It'll be in German. So it's designed to make that really easy to do, because of the fact that we started this thing from scratch. The fact that we know how to build all this stuff because of the 20 plus years of BearTech. I have hundreds of thousands of hours of doing this. So does Mike Darling. And building the tools, broadcasting tools, blogging platforms, all that stuff is state of the art. Just our blogging platform, it eclipses the SEO backlinking services you find over the Warrior Forum, where they're like $300 to $1,200 a month, depending on how many domains you have them control and do work for you. Our system does it automatically from one platform. Our system can broadcast from one platform, so you can broadcast, not only just broadcast out to all your own social network systems. The fact that we understand what we're doing, you're familiar with groups in Facebook. Well, our groups is similar. So you're over in Facebook, you have a thing called what is it? Text notes. Our system is the Blogger platform. I'm going to give you a real brief overview of this, and we take you into the back office of the Market Hive and kind of show you some of this stuff. Our groups, you're going to love what our groups do. What our groups do right now and what they're going to be doing shortly. You create a group. That means I am the administrator of that group. I invite people to join my group. I can decide whether I want to let them join or not. Very similar, right? But when you become part of my group, I will ask you questions. So in our groups, well, I suppose I can show you. I don't know why not. Hang on a second. Seeing is believing, right? Okay, here we go. Now, in groups, when we have the group system completely, right now groups has some tools in it, like your blogging platforms and stuff, but we're going to cover what the groups does. When a person joins your groups, the system's going to interview them. And so it's going to ask, please register all your social network stuff. So if you do that already in the Market Hive, which is what Market Hive will pitch, I'll ask you when you sign up for Market Hive, it'll say, what's your Facebook? You click on it, and you connect it, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Google Plus, all those things, okay? So in the group, me as the admin, I have the ability to publish out to the entire group or broadcast to all your social networks. So let's say I have a group that's strictly about selling widgets. Well, I'm the guy who's creating I'm the guy who set up the group, so I'm promoting the widgets out to all your social networks. So you don't all have to do it. I set up within the groups a thing called a rotator. So I can create a link that rotates to what you have put into your subscription or into your, we'll ask you where you want this rotator to point. So I can have a whole group of people that are in network marketing, and I can create this rotator where I'm heading up the advertising, heading up the promotions and stuff with the group, and have the group doing certain things. In other words, we create an integrated, dynamic group of people that are all working, and I'm the captain of the group because I set up the group, so I control the rotator. I have a blog sharing tool where everybody is working into the blog platform of Market Hive, certain content, just like going out and commenting on Facebook, but all doing it in here, and then I can control where it all goes. I can put it over on these blogs, I can give you scripts, go put them over on those blogs. I can create what's called RSS cocktails, where from that group of content, I can produce literally infinite variations of that content, so not one blog is producing the same content as the other blog. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand that? Do you want me to go over that again? Because that feature right there is worth $500 a month. You all get that? It is a incredibly powerful SEO tool. And what's great about it, that's why I call this not a social network, but a social neural network, is because I personally own 900 domains. I know that you guys don't. But my point is this. Let's say I have a group of 100 people. Each person in there has 3 or 4 domains. They all have them hosted on all different types of places. Some of them have WordPress. I can give you links that come out of this system where you just take this little index.php, upload it to your system, choose, and then you can control all of that from the Market Hive, and I'll show you that in a minute. My point is this. From my group, I can literally produce, with 100 people, 400 or 500 domains with 400 or 500 all completely different blog systems, or forums, or capture pages. I mean, it's unlimited what we can do, all from this one platform. Because of the chaos nature of this, everybody's hosting on different IP addresses, so I got this huge organization of domains all working for the common purpose to promote this particular domain, which has the rotator on it, to the capture page system that we have for everybody's benefit. Do you see what I'm saying here? How powerful a group can be, and this is why I couldn't just say that this is a social network. It's a social neural network. You ever looked at a neural network? Or wherever it receives stimuli, it affects everything else. And another thing that the groups has or will have is what we call a co-op queue, or campaign capabilities. We already have a version of just the basic campaigns here. What a campaign allows you to do is to generate or collect what you would call commitments, credit cards, whatever amounts, put it into the co-op cube, and so Aaron buys 2 shares at $100 a piece, so he puts 200 into the co-op cube. Ben Carnes buys 500 shares, so he puts 500 in the co-op cube. I buy 12 shares, so I put 1,200 in there. Chuck Reynolds buys 1 share, he puts $100 in there. Sorry, Chuck, I don't mean to make you a cheapskate. Joe McKenzie throws 1,000 in. So all those people get these different shares. Then I create the campaign. I go out and I advertise. I do the advertising on Facebook or YouTube or Google Plus or a banner ad on Warrior Forum. Am I going too fast for you guys, or are you getting this? You're all with me on this, right? Because I can get crazy. This is nothing. I mean, I have people that tell me I bend their brains in half. I don't know how. Anyway, my point is this. Our co-op cube keeps track of how much money you bought, so how many shares. Those shares are then tracked into the group with a rotator, so that I rotate 10 to the person who paid $1,000, 2 to the person who paid $200, and we rotate it around from the advertising that I'm doing on YouTube. And I can control all of this, and you're utilizing our merchant account to collect the money, so it's all secure. So do you get that part? Okay, so back to groups. This is just groups. So in the groups, you have the rotator, the blogging share tool, the co-op cube, the management. Oh, I haven't talked about the management yet. All right, well, we'll come back to that. I can explain it to you, what a management tool does. Because there's a lot of function going on in the Market Hive, then I know what you're doing. So if you're working on the blogging platform, I see you working on the blogging platform. You're working on producing ads or doing or you're posting into this right here in the home. This is your news feed, just like on Facebook. I see you act. It gives me a report. So let's say I have 100 people in there, and I got crazy people like Sue Bennett, and I got lazy people like well, I don't want to mention anybody's name because they might get upset, but you know what I mean. So I can look at my report. It'll show me like this person is blue. That means they're really active. The bar is like really long, and then it goes down from blue to green to yellow to orange to red, and it gets down to really small little short red squares. Those are people who never log in or do anything. Well, do I want to keep them in my group or not? Because my group is rotating and producing business to go to their systems. So I want to know who's doing anything or not, right? Are you starting to get where we're going with this, what Market Hive is? I haven't even shown you all the tools that it has. It has an autoresponder system just like Aweber. the blogging platform. Here's an example. I'll just give you a peek into the blogging platform. Okay, these are the blogs everybody's doing. So it gives you all the blogs as the most recent blog. So you can actually go and fetch content by creating a custom or what we call a cocktail CSS script. You can see who's really active. Now you want to know who's really active and kind of see what's going on here too, because then you might want to recruit them into your business or recruit them into one of your groups, right? So we want you to see what everybody's doing. Now you want to see your friends' blogs. You click on the friends' blogs links. Now you can see all your friends and your social network. Now don't get the social network mixed up with the groups. You want a huge social network. What's great about Market Hive is there's no limit on how big your social network can be. It can be 100,000. And you can interact with all of them through this system here. Then you want to see your blogs. So you click on your blog, you see all the blogs that you've personally done. And then there's blogs that you can follow. So you can follow other people's blogs. So you go, let's go to my friend's blogs and let's go look at one. Okay, David Tampin. There's his content. Nice. I may want to follow that, or maybe I want to publish it to my Facebook, or publish it to my Twitter account, or my Pinterest and my Google Plus. You got all these little tools here just to do it manually on a one-to-one basis. So you can see all the content based on the content. You can look at who are the top bloggers. Who's the wild man in this system who blogs like 25, 30 articles a day? Well, that would be Clyde Thorburn. Now, so you all know, I know all these people. These people are all my personal friends. That's what's great about Market Hive, because it gives you so much more information than you get from all the other social networks, and you get it from all kinds of different directions. Here's an RSS cocktail system here. This is where you select a feed, create a cocktail, work it. You got the RSS parser code. You can make this code and stick it into any website that you personally create a website. You put the code in there to get the content to build it into your website. If you want to get a little more advanced techy, you got the blog sharing tool, blog feed scripts. It's a powerful platform, our blogging platform. It allows you to create what looks like a PHPBB forum, but it's your platform. In fact, you know what? I have those. I'll show them to you. They're over here. I'll get them into the window here. Just to give you an idea, this is the parser code on one of my on a page on one of my domains at itsgoodbusiness.com.au. Here, so you can just see that. Make sure I get it all in there properly. As I struggle to breathe. Oh. Bear with my thumbs. Okay, that's a parser code embedded into an index.php. All right, this next one that was the login. This is a BloggerPress. Not WordPress, BloggerPress. This is just a code that comes off of Market Hive, where you could create your own templates, or you can choose the templates that we've made. And this is all produced off of my RSS cocktails. I think this one here is the actual WordPress. No, that's the forum. Okay, this PHPBB forum is made to look like a PHPBB forum, but it's completely and totally driven by the technology of Market Hive. You can produce all kinds of different variations of this. One of the nice things about the Market Hive, you can produce all of these assets out there on the internet on all kinds of different domains and change the look, change the content, change the type of website it is, all from within the Market Hive platform. Let's go back here and just look at this is a WordPress blog. There. That's a WordPress blog utilizing the plugin that we have for pulling the content off of my RSS cocktails. So what I'm showing you these for is this shows you all the different types of content. Every kind of look you can imagine, just like every kind of look on WordPress, every kind of look, we do the same thing for our forums and all that stuff. All right. Let that sink in for a minute. What will that do for you in an SEO campaign? And because you've got it all running off of your group, if you find one person in your group is not producing the right content, or they've gone rogue on you and they're producing something completely different that's not part of the deal on your system, you just kick them out of the group and it changes it removes them from all of your assets. Does that make sense? All right, I don't want to confuse any of you. I want you to understand that this system navigates, looks, feels just like Facebook. You've got your home, which is your news feed, people you may know, suggestions to add as friends. You have your friends, shows you your friends, friend requests, confirm, pending friends, suggested friends. You have your groups, you have your companies. That's a whole other thing. This list of companies is all of the direct marketing companies that we're aware of. When they come in here and plug into it, they're producing the content that can go to your feeds. They're producing the messages and posts that can go to all of your social networks. They're producing the rotators to drive customers and distributors to you through the rotator system. We've prepared all of this stuff so we can go to an MLM company, a direct marketing company, an affiliate company, and say, look, Market Hive's totally free. But what we've done is we've put all of our tools and we've concentrated them into a center that has, let's just go to one of them, that has all the management tools, list of distributors, your forum, you have your own forum, and you have all of these tools I just talked about just for a company. Then we have the blogging platform, which we've gone over, videos, for managing your videos and what you're doing with them, putting them in, setting up your profile pages and stuff. We have forums. We have the entire lead system, which has the autoresponders and stuff in it. So you can manage your leads. You can group your leads up. You can send email off to your leads. You can broadcast to them if they've given you your Facebook and information, etc., etc. Now, a complete lead system, our lead system is also state-of-the-art. This is a custom capture page built in, here it is, built in Market Hive. So Market Hive completely controls this, but you can see a person can come here and they can subscribe just by hitting social network. So a person can easily subscribe just by their account here, by clicking on it. They don't have to go through the old-fashioned name, email, and verification. They can do that, but we also have it set up like this, so it's just instantaneously, boom. And your capture page can have videos on it. It can be very simple. Let's see, I think I'll show you one that Mike did this. It's really simple with a video. Veritech Legacy, I think it's called. Yeah, there it is. This is also generated, controlled.
Hi, my name is Michael Darling.
From Market Hive. You see how different the two of these things are? Okay, that's all controlled by the central platform of your Market Hive. Okay? So, we're getting ready to launch this thing. So when we came out with this whole idea to build this platform 2 years ago, let's in the screencast for now. When we came up with this idea 2 years ago to build this platform to the extent in which it's built, with every imaginable tool all integrated into each other tool, unlike anything's ever been done, and then totally integrated into a social network as well, which never has been done. We decided to build the entire thing like it is and give it all of it, 100% of it away for free. Now, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But then we did some research and we realized that if we ran a simple advertising banner at the top and give it the ability to boost like Facebook now does. Facebook didn't do that boosting when we first came up with this idea. But, it took us a couple years to get everything built. But it's a great idea, boosting. You know what boost is, right? You create an article on your newsfeed. You want to push it to people's newsfeeds that are not in your social network, or you want to push it into a greater number of people than you have. There's a charge to that. It could be anywhere from $5 to $10,000. Well, we'll have the same thing. But the thing that we don't have right now, see, what we have over here is very powerful. What we have over here is we need to get, and that is a bunch of people using the system. We need to have literally hundreds of thousands, millions of people in the system, because then that justifies the advertising. We're going to pull the people in to use the system because of all these magnificent, powerful, most advanced platform on the planet, and it's free. And it's easy to navigate, as you've all seen, right? So in launching this system, which we're doing on the 15th, it's basically being launched as a beta. But instead of beta, I came up with the concept of doing an alpha. What alpha means is that we give you a profile page. I'm going to show that to you in a minute. Mike did a video on it. I'll show that video to you. What the profile page allows you to do is to promote the Market Hive platform from your profile page, where when a person lands on that profile page, unlike Facebook, when they sign up into Market Hive through your profile page, you can designate where you want them to go. They automatically become a social network or not, whatever you want them to do. They go into whatever group you want, and you set them up to get whatever autoresponder you want. So what happens is it turns into this very powerful lead capture system, and it's $100 a month. Now, let me finish. We're going to take it one step further, because what $100 buys you in Market Hive is one day's running of a banner up at the top, just like Warrior Forum charges $100 a day. And I'll spend $3,000 a day over there in Warrior Forum when I have a campaign, because I get traffic. It's worth it. We're over here at Market Hive. We're going to give you $100 worth of advertising on top of the alpha page. So you have the benefit of creating massive, what I would call integrated cognitive leads. And that takes it beyond the premium lead mentality that we used to have. This means when a lead signs up with you, you don't just getting their name and their email address, and you can fire email at them and try to call them up on the phone. What happens is they log in, they come into Market Hive, they get all of these tools, they become active, they are integrated to you, so you have connection with them within the platform of Market Hive. They're now in one of your groups that you've specified what group they're in. You can work with them within that group, and so you can get them into training and conferences, group meetings, and all that stuff. So what you're doing is you're creating what I call is just a very dynamic sphere of influence. Does that make sense? Is that making sense to everybody? Very good. So that whole idea of for $100 as an alpha, you get the profile page to go out there and promote this and produce for you the best lead generation you've ever had. And at the same time, you're filling up our coffers with people. We're introducing this. Now, other people who want to promote it, who are what we call betas, that aren't paying for the alpha service, they can promote it too. It's just that when a person comes, they'll wind up, signing up like you do on Facebook. They'll have to find each other and do the friend requests and the whole thing, just like it works on Facebook. So there's a big advantage to doing the $100 alpha, because you're going to get the advertising, and you can let it accrue. You can do it for 3 years. And that, in 3 years, and there's 100 million people in the system, then you start using your advertising budget. You've accrued all of that. So I took it one step further than that, because what I want to do is I want to fund the marketing and advertising of this to your benefit. So those people who come in what we call the alpha founder, I'm giving you a limited partnership in turn for you committing to pay me $100 a month for 12 months or pay the $1,200 up front. With that, what you get is a $100,000 or you get $3,000 worth of advertising the moment you sign that agreement and commit to those 12 months. That's 30 days of banner advertising. So we just gave you way more value without even giving you a piece of the company, but we're going to give you a piece of the company too, because that's just how we work. We want you to have flesh in the, skin in the game. So when you come in at the Alpha Founder program, you become a partner, and we're limiting it to 1,000 people. At the 1,000 people, there's a 5 to 20% of the revenue of Market Hive. At the outside end, at 1,000, it's 20%. So I did the numbers. If we were doing $100 million a year, which is more than we're more. That's a realistic number. We'll be able to reach that in a year or two. $100 million a year for you, one Alpha Founder account will represent $20,000 a year. Now that's not a bad return, and this is for the rest of your life. Not only that, you got the $100,000 in ad credits or $3,000 worth of advertising right off the bat, and you will continue to get $100 worth of advertising every month for the rest of your life, even though you've only paid the 12 months. Once you finish paying the 12 months, you're vested as a limited partner. Is that making sense so far? I'll get to that, Carmen. How do you become an alpha member? Okay, so you can see that 2 years ago, all we did was we shared this idea with with a cloud of my friends that were from Beartech mostly, and they all came in what we call the BOD founder. They became partners with us, and I raised $500,000 to build the system. We're now at the tail end of that, and we're getting ready to launch this. So what we have here before you is the real thing. This is 2 years of technology. It all works. It's all built on 20 years of experience from the two of us, Mike and myself. So this offer we're making in the Alpha Founder, it's like the best of both worlds. For those of you who get in at the top, and you've all heard that, right? You know what I'm saying? The first 1,000 to get in here, that's it. We cut it off. You will get a residual income, and you will never ever have to experience the frustration of an MLM deal, because it's not MLM. This is totally free system. It generates its revenue through advertising, and we all know how well LinkedIn's doing. They just bought some company for $1.5 billion, right? How many companies has Facebook bought? Pinterest is one of them. Now, what do they pay for that? Instagram, I know they paid like $1.7 billion for Instagram. Dozens. You're going to have a part of that. Now, James Gray asked me, are we going to have hosting? Yes and no. Here's what we're going to do. As the revenues come in, we're going to go buy a conference room company. Instead of us building it, we're just going to go buy one. Free conferencing, I vocalize somebody, and we're going to buy it, continue to operate it as Shell Holdings, but we're going to also integrate it into Market Hive. Does that make sense? We're going to go out and buy when we do that, then there'll be conference rooms in the system that'll be included in the system for free. Then we're going to go out and buy a domain and web hosting company like Namecheap, GoDaddy, a company like that, 2Cows, whatever. There's many of them out there. We buy it and we keep running it like it is, but we also integrate it into the system here, and we offer free hosting. We're going to have some upgrades into that type of hosting, but for the most part, there'll be a mechanism where it's free, and then there'll be an upgrade, which will create additional revenues, right? You all know what a press release service is, right? Like PR Web, PR Log. We go out and buy one of those, keep running it like it is, and integrate it into the system here. So when you go to do a press release, it's a real press release. There's no sense in us telling you we have a press release system and all you're doing is posting out to a blog that's called a press release. You've all heard of Evan Carmichael an IBO toolbox. Those are a couple right there that say they're press release systems, and really all they are is just well-trafficked blogs. So that's our long-term goal here, is to continue to go out there and start buying companies to add into our existing platform that we have right now. The platform we have right now crushes everything else that's out there. So do you like what you hear? We have 53 people in the room. I'm assuming we have guests. All of your guests that are looking to become alpha founders themselves, let me tell you about the Alpha Founder Program. Now, remember me saying that if you have a share or a limited partnership in Market Hive at $100,000, it's worth 20 grand a year. $100 million in revenue is worth 20 grand a year. If you had a BOD founder agreement, which there happens to be 20 available because of the 100 that I sold, 20 people fell off the wagon and I can't get a hold of them. So they've defaulted on their agreement. So I've got 20 on the table here. They're worth $20,000 right now. They originally went for 5, but they're worth $20,000 now because we're done. We're ready to launch this thing. So the value of them has just gone up to 20 grand. They'll be worth 50,000 because when we hit $100 million in revenue and your alpha founder is making you $20,000 a year, a BOD founder is making you $200,000 a year. Would you like one of those? How many people here want one of those? Or want, if you already got one, how many people want an extra one? How'd you like to earn one? Well, we're going to make it so you can earn it, because the way that we're doing this is like this. You become an alpha founder, and you help us reach 1,000, and you hit 100. You actually bring in 100 alpha founders. You're going to get a BOD founder. We're going to give one to you. If you bring in 200 people, we're going to give you 2. If you bring in 300 people, we're going to give you 3. If we reach 1,000 and nobody ever hit 100, but Sue Bennett got 80 and John Lombardi got 99 and Carlos Pereira got 12 and Chuck Reynolds got 8, but you're in the first 20 who achieved those numbers, you're all going to get one anyway. My point is, when we hit 1,000 alpha founders, I'm going to distribute those 20 BODs to the top 20 performers in helping us produce that 1,000. Is that fair? Does that sound fair? So, on the 15th of this month, this is what we're opening. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Hang on a second. Let me get this playing for you. This was a little blurry because I'm producing it from a YouTube video on my computer, but you'll get the point. You'll get the gist of it. I will be pausing it as we go because it starts to lag. Right now, the cost of an additional BOD membership is $20,000, James. Okay, here's the video. Mike Darling.
And hello, everybody. Mike Darling here. Going to give you a quick walkthrough of the new Alpha Promotion interface and how all of this works. So here we are in the dashboard, the Market Hive in your back office. You'll see a little link here that says Alpha Promotion. When you click this, it will bring up basically all the details about the Alpha Founders and Alpha Subscribers system. You can read this. It basically gives people 2 options. So I'll just read this to you. As part of the beta launch of Market Hive, we're currently offering 2 options as part of our Alpha Promotion. You can be an Alpha Subscriber with no ongoing commitment, or you can obtain one of our Alpha Founders positions by committing to 12 months of payments. And it says click on the following options for details. Important to note, for the cost of running a banner ad just 1 day per month, you will receive substantial benefits and advantages. And those are listed then here below. So Alpha Subscribers are able to leverage the beta launch of the Market Hive for their benefit by receiving the following. They're able to enroll new members through their profile pages. They receive 100,000 banner advertising credits with each monthly payment, and that's equivalent to being able to run a banner ad 1 day per month. And no ongoing commitment or contract. You just pay month per month. Or if you click the Alpha Founders option, Alpha Founders are fellow visionaries and limited partners in Market Hive itself. For a 12-month commitment, you receive greatly expanded benefit and lifetime rewards. So not only do you receive the ability to enroll new members through your own profile page, you get 3 million banner advertising credits. So that's essentially 1 full month of banner advertising, one ad per day. In addition to that, you also receive the 100,000 banner advertising credits per month for life, rather than just for as long as those payments are made. You also get the revenue sharing within Market Hive, and this requires a 12-month commitment. So in either case, the subscription cost, as it shows here, is $100 per month. You'll be charged $100 today for the remainder of this month, and then $100 per month starting on the first of each month thereafter. And you'll see here, you can either use a saved credit card if you have one in the system, or you can enter a new credit card if you want to do it that way. So I'm just going to show you how this works. To sign up, so I'm committing in this case to become an Alpha Founder. So I click this, it's going to process my purchase, it charges me $100, and it will start charging me $100 on the first of each month. It then says your purchase has been successfully completed. You must download, print, and sign the Alpha Founders Agreement and then mail it within 48 hours to the following address. Your position will not be official until this has been completed. It provides the address, and then it says click here to download and print the agreement. Now this is a dynamically generated PDF, and so when they click this, it will actually fill in. This is the Alpha Founders Limited Partnership Agreement, with most of you have seen at this point. Fills in the data if your data is in the system. If it's not, you'll have to print and add your own data. And as well, down at the bottom, it will have your credit card information as well. Now, right here, contributing sponsor. This field, since all of us in the system right now don't have a sponsor, because all of us listening to this right now are actually Market Hive founders, this is something that when you have people enroll through your page into Market Hive, and they themselves decide to become an Alpha Founder, your username will automatically be shown here. And I'll show you how that works momentarily. Okay, now before we jump out and I show you what this looks like from the outside, I want to take you into the settings area. Okay, right here. There will be, as an Alpha Founder, you will automatically have a few new settings show up in your profile page management area. So here we are. As this loads, you'll see this new section down here, new member enrollment. So the first option you have is whether or not the member becomes your friend. So does that happen automatically? Meaning when someone enrolls through your page, do you want it to just automatically create a friendship where you and that person are friends within Market Hive? Or do you want it to be pending? For example, you have to, it comes in as a pending friend to approve it as normal in the system, or not at all. You could just have people enroll and nothing happens at all. I'm going to leave this as automatic. The next option is, do you want the lead that's generated when they come through your system to be assigned to a lead group? So if you've created lead groups in the system, you can automatically have it assigned to one of those groups, or you can say, nope, I don't want to have it assigned to a lead group, and then it will just go into your ungrouped leads in your lead management interface. The last option here is whether or not you want to have an autoresponder sent out. This is one of the great features because, as you already know, you can go into the lead section of the system and create as your own autoresponders, as many emails you want on each responder, have them go out at different intervals, however you want to do it. And so then when somebody enrolls through your Market Hive profile page, you can then designate whether or not you want to have an autoresponder go out. I'm going to go ahead and say, no, I don't in this case. I'm just going to have them just log into the system. They'll get a welcome email in addition to your autoresponder, just a basic email just welcoming them into the system. Okay, so this is the way that you're able to configure this. Now what I'm going to do, and follow along with me here very carefully, I'm going to log out of the system, and the reason I'm doing this is so that I can show you what it looks like on the outside as a prospect who now comes to my profile page. So in this case, my username is Mike Darling, and so my profile page is just going to be markethive.com/Mike Darling. And again, I'm logged out right now, so when it comes to my page, it will be viewing my page as if we are on the public side of the system, not logged in. Of course, if we're logged in, we would see something different. Okay, and the most notable thing you're going to see here is up in the upper right-hand corner, you now have this option. as an Alpha founder or Alpha subscriber, people can now actually enroll directly through your page using one of their social accounts. Now, I have disengaged. I used to have my Facebook account attached to my Market Hive account. I've removed that in order to be able to demonstrate the following to you. If I hadn't done that, when I clicked Facebook, it would actually just log me right into the system. But because I've detached that, it doesn't recognize my Facebook account, and so it's going to allow me to enroll through this page. So again, through this Mike Darling page, it's allowing me to enroll as a new member in Market Hive. So this is going to take a second while this is loading. That's because I'm on a really slow connection right now. But also what it's doing is it's checking with Facebook and making sure that I've already authorized the Market Hive app and so forth. What it will then do is bring up the enrollment screen to finish the enrollment. And here you can see that. And it tells me to confirm your registration. And it does give you a notice here, so that if you're already a member, you can click here and go back and log in using the social network account you used to register. You can then attach your other social media accounts through the settings area. And so the reason for that is if you or somebody else accidentally forget that they used a different account to enroll previously, you want to go back and log in with that account rather than create a new account, because now you're going to have two different accounts and you don't want that. So you'll see here it's automatically grabbed all of my information from my Facebook account. It knows my Facebook profile page. It grabs my username from Facebook and it checks to see if that's available in Market Hive. In this case it is. If it's not, it'll tell you that, and then as you adjust it here, it'll automatically check and make sure that username you're selecting is available. It grabs my name, it grabs my email address, country, language, time zone. If it can't grab any of this data from the social network, for example, if they don't have it entered there, then they'll just have to fill it in at this point. Once they've decided that everything's good, they want to go ahead and create the account, you click the button to create the account, and that's literally what it's doing right now, is it is processing me as a new member into Market Hive. And again, keep in mind, I did this through my Mike Darling page, and so as a result, this enrollment is attached to Mike Darling, and I'll show you that here in a second. We got to let this go ahead and go through, and actually what it's doing all those things we said before. So it's creating the friendship, it is creating a lead, it's putting the lead into the correct group, all those sorts of things, and now it's logged me in. And you can see up here in the upper right hand corner, this is now Michael Darling. That's because it's a new account, which is the www guy. If you look in the lower left-hand corner of the screen here, you'll see that that's the link here. And now I myself, this new person as this new lead or this new member of Market Hive, am able to join the Alpha promotion as well. And so this is basically what you're going to be doing as you yourselves come in here and become an Alpha founder, hopefully. Then you'll be able to promote your profile page, and then as people come in and enroll into the system, they then can also come in here and opt to either be an Alpha subscriber or an Alpha founder. Okay, well that's basically a brief summary of how this works. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward. Certainly we're excited about what's going on, so if you have questions, let us know. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mike. All right, do you think it can get any better? Well, yeah, it can. And I'm going to tell you, what else is going to make this even better for you? Well, this is phase 2. I mean, phase 1 was 2 years building the system, or phase A, or whatever you want to call it. So this is phase B. As the money comes in, 90% of this money is going to our advertising budget, marketing, press releases, Facebook advertising, and that's why we're doing what we're doing right now in Market Hive. The Facebook Market Hive, is because that's being prepared to take and have a huge presence on Facebook, because that's where we're going to go after a lot of our business. We're going to go after our business on YouTube, Google search engines, Google Plus and the search engines, and Facebook. Our secondary stuff is Veritech. We have 250 million leads there. Veritech has 250 million leads in it, or now WaveWriter. Mike and I have control of that. We have been working back there to be able to promote to all of those people this thing that we're doing. We haven't said anything about Market Hive other than just the old advertising where we're talking about the founders section. We haven't launched this thing yet into Veritech. We have other companies out there that have huge databases, and we know this: when you're promoting a free system, not trying to sell, but promoting a free system that enhances and empowers the entrepreneur, You're offering free autoresponder, free blogging platforms, free SEO systems, all that kind of stuff. You have a much higher rate of people responding to an email or an ad than you do when you're trying to get somebody to come and buy your product. But even if you're giving it away, you all agree to that, right? It's just the way human nature is. So while you're busy going after your spheres of influence, and I have a friend who has an emailing list of 25 million. Well, I'll tell you that story. He was bragging about how he's been pitching his binary deal to this 25 million people, and he's already gotten 500 people to sign up. I'm like, wow, Rick, that's like 0.002%. Wow, that's really cool, I guess. 500 is good. I said, but Rick, if you were promoting to that same 25 million, the Market Hive, a completely, totally free, full-blown step, and they're starting to call it the neural network. Isn't that amazing? And we're there. That's what this is. We have the potential of becoming the next multi-billion-dollar company, the next one of the top 10 social networks on the internet in the next year to 2 years. Add to that Facebook privacy policy, which means that not only are they opening everything up to the CIA and the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security and all that, but by using Facebook, you're giving them permission to pull anything they want out of your computer and put it into their database or share it with any law enforcement agency that they want. Do you think that that's putting a concern on people who use Facebook? Because I'll tell you what, Market Hive is a private corporation. It's not a public corporation. It's a big difference. We are private. That means that we're not beholden to the shareholders, nor are we beholden to the government. We are not compelled by any law or regulation that we have to hold on to our logs. So if ever they come to us and say, hey, we want your logs, we say, oh, we don't have any logs. What are you talking about? That's a huge, huge event that's occurring that just happens to be perfect timing for what we're doing. But anyway, back to the fact that when I have 1,000 people as alpha founders, that means we raise $1.2 million, about $100,000 a month for the next year for me to use to build the system out to be 100 million people in it. Now, where are those 100 million people going to go from my efforts? Where do you think? They're going to go to a rotator, and they're going to go to the people who are in as alpha founders. Does that make sense? So, you're going to... I mean, sometimes I think this has just got to be divine, because it goes beyond my normal thinking. You are buying an alpha founder position to give you the ability to go out there and promote this massive free system straight to your profile page and build your sphere of influence. You're paying me $100 a month for that. I'm taking the money you're paying me and I'm advertising your system for your benefit to drive even more people into your business. How cool is that? What network marketing company do you know of that does that? And then shares the revenue with you? None. So do you think that when it comes to, well, it's limited. I mean, you're not going to have to, you don't have to go, we're not going to recruit hundreds of millions of people into this thing. We're just going to recruit 1,000, and then we're going to generate the rest of our revenue from advertising. We will have alpha accounts available for $100 a month. And that alpha account will give, for the most part, the same thing we're giving you, except for the 12-month commitment to have a limited partnership with us. So those of you who are interested to become alpha founders, you probably are all here based on somebody who recommended you to come here, so you contact them. I have applications that I've sent out to everybody to use. We got them coming in via our fax number and our email right now, taking free applications coming in, primarily so that you can position yourself to go after the brass ring, which isn't going to be too hard. You're figuring what we're doing here. Or you can wait until January 15th when we open up the door. You could just go sign up through one of the profile pages of the members that are here. I would recommend that you get in now. You can also buy more than one position. You can buy as many as you want. You would have to fax it in that that's the case, whereas you would still have, you wouldn't want to go set up 100 alpha founder profile systems in the system, but you can buy 100 alpha profile or alpha profile founders, alpha founder positions, if that makes sense. Because you would just be, if you had 100 alpha profiles, 100 Market Hive accounts, you'd just be diluting your efforts. But to do that, you would just need to fill out more than one application and send it in. We're keeping track of it. Sue's on her first day at work here today in our temporary office. As we get up and rolling here, we're processing all of the faxes and emails and mail that has come in the last couple of weeks. I think we have, I don't know how many we have. I am suspicious that we have about 200. So they're going fast. That 200, every person in the 200, each one of those people does 20. We're at 1,000. That's how fast, or 50, right? 50 times 200. 5 times 200, 5? 20 times 5 is 1. Yeah, 50. Sometimes that simple stuff just is beyond my reach. So it's going to accelerate very quickly. There's going to be a lot of people who are really sorry who didn't pay attention to this, because when we become a multi-billion-dollar corporation and Google comes and buys us, everybody's going to get their share of that. The BOD founders will get their share. The limited partnership people in the Market Hive will all get their share. And then, of course, if we did something like that, what do you think Mike and I are going to do with a couple of millions of billions of dollars? I'm not going to go out and buy an airplane. I'm not stupid. And we're going to go build another company. And when we build another company, who are we going to suggest be involved with us doing it? You! We're going to go do it again! Yeah! Woohoo! This is fun. We just need to get over the mountain. And we're so close to getting over the mountain. I believe in thinking big. We're going to have to figure it. Those of you who sent in applications and you don't have a Market Hive account yet, we'll get a hold of you. We'll get it worked out before. Let us get all the applications in and send the database to Mike. I'll ask him that question. We'll get it straight out. Don't worry about it. We're competent people here, so. We'll be contacting you or whatever. So we get over the hill on this, and that's what we're doing here. This phase, phase B. We go into phase C, where this thing just starts to rock and take off. It's going to get to be such a big phenomena because we're doing something nobody else has ever done. Everybody ignores the entrepreneur, but look what Eric Worre just did. He just did this really significant investment on a advertisement, the rise of the entrepreneur. I have been saying for years, decades, why don't our schools produce entrepreneurs? Think about it. At the end of 4 years, and the college just produced 1,000 graduates. They just produced 1,000 graduates. They're all going out to look for a job. If they had produced 1,000 entrepreneurs, you would have 1,000 people going out and looking for a problem to solve. When they produce the ability to solve that problem, each one of those are going to need employees, 1 to 1,000. So that 1,000 entrepreneurs that you just graduated represent 100,000 to 10 million jobs. This has always been my focus. It's not just for any particular country, it's for everybody. And that's truly the vision that drives Market Hive. is to not only produce entrepreneurs, but to support entrepreneurs and to help the entrepreneurs get up on their feet with no money needing to be invested in a complete marketing system. And here's the genius behind that. If the system cost you $30 a month or $70 a month, or you couldn't use the system, at any given month, because I learned this from Veritech, your card may fail. You can't use the system anymore. You become disconnected from the system. So even 4 or 5 months later, you're not inclined to come back. But when you go to the grocery store and you got a couple extra bucks in your pocket, you buy a pack of gum or a candy bar or a tabloid magazine or something at the cash register, right? Those are called impulse items. You know what I'm talking about? So just like in Facebook, when I produce an article on my fan page and I want to boost it, or I decide I'm going to do some advertising for this to drive some traffic to it, and I only have $20 to spend, well, I only spend $20. If I've got a couple $1,000s to spend, I spend a couple $1,000s, but it's determined when I have the money to spend. And that's the whole psychological shift on the Market Hive, is gives you so many benefits. You can come in and say, hey, this month I want an alpha program because I want to promote this to generate some leads and see how it works. Boom, it works. So you do another month, you do another month. Now you start moving forward because you see that the ranks are expanding, and you start boosting your articles, you start building your groups, you start using your advertising. The 15th of January, we open up the alpha profile page. Up until that point, we're taking applications kind of like pre-launch, I guess, for lack of a better term. And you can get that application. You can go find it on the markethive.net blog. There's a link there to an application. Where else is there one? There was one posted on the Market Hive fan page, but you know how that stuff gets buried. The best thing to do is to contact whoever sent you here to get an application from them. That's the best way to go about doing it. If you can't get one from them, get a hold of me, and I'll email one to you. My email is tom.graybull @gmail. In the subject line, just put Alpha Founder, and I'll send one off to you. If you were referred here by somebody, tell me that who it is that referred you in your email, or just contact them and get one from them. We're going to reward everybody in every way we possibly can. I live a very minimalist life, just so you understand where I'm at. Mike's not quite as much of a minimalist as me, but for all intents and purposes, neither one of us are looking to go out and buy a brand new Bentley or a twin engine plane or a big huge 16-bedroom mansion when the money comes rolling in. I can comfortably live on $5,000 a month. I can live on $3,000 a month, but $5,000 allows me to help other people. Anything over that gets poured back into this or into altruistic programs. Same with Mike. So you understand, I am all about you succeeding beyond your wildest expectations. And that's the whole dream that drives Market Hive. Thank you everybody for coming.